Hello and welcome to TSL Talk. Unfortunately, Adam Smith's waxing incident's taking a little while to heal. So
had a bleeder, I believe.
A bleeder, bit of a rash as well. Luckily we're joined by Brett Geeves again, who's still got plenty of time on his sleeve. Brett, thanks very much for joining us again.
No worries, thanks for having me.
It's the second half of the split round and there's a massive game between North Hobart and Lauderdale at North Hobart. It's the early game. They're both on 8 and 6. North Hobart just outside the top 5 on 2%. It's a huge game, isn't it?
Well, it's a massive game. Not just in terms of ladder position, but both teams are quite even throughout their lists. And North Hobart Oval, it's a small ground, and Lauderdale's home ground is quite small as well. So it should be a cracking game. North Hobart getting Kenny Hall back. He's got a lingering ankle injury that I think it should probably have him in retirement rather than continually playing on it. I think he's got a fracture and a couple of spurs, and it's in a pretty bad way. I think he's getting through some pain injections for that. And Jesse Wells, a big fullback as well. So North Hobart gets some key ins, and the Lauderdale juggernaut just keeps rolling on. They're claiming some big scalps, and it's probably their midfield that's getting it done at the moment in Fitz and Matthew Smith. So they're on fire.
And last time these two teams met, Lauderdale won by 35 points, and that was the last game Clinton Brown was in charge.
Well, yeah, so that probably doesn't fare well for North Hobart, but they seem to be a different team under Lance Spalding. To me, they really seem to have their mojo back at the moment. The last few weeks, and with just a little bit of run, and they seem to. Their structures are much better set out. It's a strange one when you say better structures. What are better structures?
I don't know. Coaches talk about process and structures. Yeah. And Julian DeBoz is one for North Hobart. He's just been named in the AFL draft intake camp for the tall forwards. You know him a little bit from cricket, but he's making more a name for himself on the footy field. He's
been a star this year. He averaged 4 goals a game in the under-18 TAC Cup. And it's dominated there. His form in the statewide league has been stellar. Really, he's kicked bags of 6 and 7 a couple of times, and for a young guy that's only been playing the game for 2 or 3 years, I think he's from a soccer background. He's an obvious phenomenal talent. So and of course a talented cricketer as well, playing with North Hobart also. So one of those kids that you can only envy. He's just got talent in almost everything that he does.
Can you give us a tip on this game?
I think Lauderdale are probably playing the better football at the moment. After thumping Glenorchy by 90 points, their confidence has to be sky high, I would have thought. And Darren Winter's running an extremely tight ship down there at Lauderdale. I think that they're a genuine contender for this year's flag.
Contender for the flag?
Contender for the flag.
Right, you heard it here first. The other game, which is equally important for the clubs involved, is South Lonnie and Devonport. It's the battle for the wooden spoon. Yeah,
probably less important in terms of ladder position and final structure, but as you say, no less important. South Lonnie probably turned a corner a bit, I reckon. They've started to play some good footy. Mitch Thorpe's been in good form, and the Devonport took it to Clarence a few weeks ago. We're up by 7 goals at quarter time, which was quite extraordinary, but. You'd imagine that both teams had no chance of the finals, with 2 games, 1 for South Launceston and 1 for Devonport.
It's probably, like you're saying, South Lonnie have turned the corner just a little bit, and they've got a good group of young Mariners like Musica and Dylan Riley, and John McKenzie was captain of the Mariners team. So there is a bit of light there for South Lonnie, isn't there? Yeah,
McKenzie looks a star of the future. There's no doubt about that. Huge raps on him coming out of the under-18 carnivals, and their junior representation is high. I think they had 7 or 8 in the Mariners program. That's excellent for a club. I think any struggling club needs to have that those junior numbers coming through the elite junior ranks. South Launceston have that, so you would imagine that if they can hold on to those players at 4 or 5 years' time, they're not going to be far away from being contenders themselves.
And it would be a terrible look if they won their 3rd wooden spoon in a row.
It wouldn't be great, I don't think. But when assessing clubs, and AFL Tasmania obviously assess their clubs at the end of each year, South Launceston seem to be pretty safe. They're not on the chopping block. Hobart are the team there that seem to be in all sorts of strife. But and I think that's largely down to their junior program.
Well, Brett, thanks very much for your thoughts.
No problem.
Good luck on the golf course.
Yeah, thanks very much. Got my lucky blue shirt on today, so I'm good to go.
Remember, for all your TSL stories, pick up your copy of the Mercury or go to the Mercury online.